Hello, hello, hello. We are live finally. I am getting up and running with these lives. That's I think that's 2 times in 2 weeks now. You lucky son of a guns. I am just gonna check and do the boring, admin crap and see if we're live. Need to just let everyone know that I am going live. Um, So, if you have signed in for notifications for these lives, I just want to let you know that ManyChat, who is the company that I use, they don't let you send out messages if you haven't engaged with me within 24 hours. But they have just started changing that around and creating an opt-in option. So if you have already signed in for notifications, what I'll do is I'll personally message you, send you a link to sign up again once it's all up and running. God, I'm going to need to get that on my to-do list. Sign you all up again once it's up and running, and that way I can actually message you. Whereas if I haven't engaged with you in 24 hours, it won't allow me to send you a message. It just stops spam, which is fair enough, but it's kind of a ball ache because you guys have said I want to sign up for these notifications, but I can't send them, which is just a pain in the ass. So how are you? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm super excited for the second Tea with B this month. It is exciting to get going and get the ball rolling again. It has been a while since I actually committed to doing these lives. It's been a bit of a whirlwind trying to get the right idea of exactly where I wanted to go, who my clients were, what the problems were they were facing. So it's really nice to be able to understand completely how I can serve you best. So plant-based weight loss is where we're at. So last week we talked about the fundamentals of being plant-based, and this week I want to go straight in, balls deep, with why you're not losing weight on a plant-based diet. So with a plant-based lifestyle, if you follow it to a T, as in a whole foods plant-based lifestyle, if you follow that to a T, there is no way that you could put on weight if you followed it to a T. Now, that's because it is such a beautifully natural diet that it naturally helps you to digest, to assimilate, to burn calories, to burn fat. It stops you from building plaque in your arteries. It stops you from gaining weight. It is the most natural diet to have. And therefore, if you're gaining weight on a whole foods plant-based diet, there's something that's clearly not going right, not going well. So the difference between plant-based and whole foods plant-based, I mean, to be fair, if you're on a plant-based diet, you can be doing it massively wrong, which I was doing for a while. And these things that I learned, I'm going to teach you, so you don't need to do them and work out, oh, wait a minute, that's not working. So whole food plant-based is whole foods. It excludes oils as well. It excludes sugar and a huge amount of salt, all processed foods, all animal products such as meat, fish, dairy, eggs, and all of that. I was going to say cheese then, but that's dairy as well. So whole foods, you just think of anything that doesn't need to come packaged. Crackers? No, not whole food. There are some forms of breads and stuff that are whole foods, but they tend to be very rare to come across, but it doesn't mean that you have to stick to it, like I've mentioned before. Just because you say I'm on a whole foods plant-based diet doesn't mean that you have to religiously stick to that. It's unfair on yourself to create unrealistic goals and expectations for yourself. This is Tea with B, but I decided to have a decaf coffee because I feel like the smell was going to wake me up a little bit. It is nearing the end of my day. My alarm clock goes off at 3:45 in the morning. It is now 5 p.m. So I just needed the smell of a pick-me-up to pick me up for this. So welcome along if you haven't joined in before. My name is Bianca. I'm a plant-based weight loss coach. I love what I do and I am so passionate. So I'm sorry if I stamp my hands, and I just want to give you as much as I possibly can. So shut up, Bianca, and let's get into it. So there are two fundamental parts that I'm going to really break down for you. One is going to be the biggest part, which is the nutrition, but one is going to be the most commonly unidentified reason for not being able to lose weight. I'm going to hold that off for 1 minute because I want to talk about nutrition first. So, practically, in terms of takeaway steps that I can give you right now, this is going to be very tangible, but be very easy. So, grab a notepad and pen and write these down as I go. So, with the two branches to kind of what I put together today of why you're not losing weight on a plant-based diet, with the nutrition element, there is most likely still a lot of oil, salt, and sugar present in your diet. Now, if you're on a whole foods plant-based and you're completely sticking to it 100%, these aren't going to be in there. But if you're plant-based because you're making the transition, you want to make it slowly and appropriately, which is highly recommended, but you're seeing no budging in the scales, maybe you're plateauing in your weight loss, this could be a particular reason. So it could be because you're still consuming too much oil, salt, and sugar. And you might say, yeah, but I don't eat processed foods anymore, or I don't have animal meats, I don't have fats. Well, if you eat out, there's a high possibility there's going to be a lot of oil, a lot of sugar, and a lot of salt in those foods. They will sneak it in. It will be called plant-based or vegan on the menu, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's healthy. Okay. Now, these little things sneaking into your diet will cause that plateau. When you lose a significant amount of weight, you might notice that you get down to a particular weight and then you really, really, really struggle to get the rest off. That's because you've cut out the biggest parts of your life that were causing a huge amount of inflammation and weight gain. Now you're really honing it in to the very small amounts of things that are sneaking in here, there, and everywhere, or the other things, which comes later on the second branch to why you're not losing weight. All the other things are then become the biggest influence as to why you're not losing weight. So look at the small things. Where are you eating out? Where you might be able to eat at home or take out something, or opt for healthier options when you're out. That can easily look like going through to a different restaurant or choosing some different options, or simply asking foods to not be cooked in even plant-based butter or oils. So you're probably sneaking in a lot of sugar, salt, and oil or fat into your diet by eating out. You could also be cooking with these as well. Again, if you're on a whole foods plant-based diet, this is probably going to be very minimal. And one easy way to get rid of cooking with oil is just to cook with vegetable stock and water. I do this all the time. If a recipe says saute off garlic and onion, I use water and vegetable stock. Simple. Adds a little bit of flavor. You don't even need to use vegetable stock. Adds a little bit of flavor. And it fries off the onion without having to use oils. There is no need to use oil. So you could be including these items into cooking, but you could also be including them into baking. How much sugar are you adding into your baking? Granted, some recipes might call for maple syrup or applesauce, something that's a little bit more natural. It might not necessarily be refined sugars, but it's still sugar at the end of the day. Now, I don't want you to get caught up on what sugar's good and what sugar's bad, especially when it comes to fruits. A lot of people stop eating fruits because they hear that the sugars are quite bad. Anything that you eat to excess is not going to be great for you. So that's why we call it in moderation. So if you're making a lot of baking, if you're baking a lot of foods, please send it to me. But also just bear in mind how much sugar you are using there as well, because sugar still is high in calories. And at the end of the day, calories in versus calories out, if you're not burning as much as you're consuming, you are going to put on weight. If that's a little bit confusing to you, please just holler at me and I will be more than happy to explain a little bit more about calories in, calories out, and sugar. If you're watching this, by the way, say hi, because I have no idea. I should have checked to see if I'm live. Yeah, no, I am live. Should have checked to see if I was live first. And I don't know if you can hear me or see me, or if anyone else can hear or see me. So please let me know. Say hi if you're there. Even if you're watching on replay, say hi so I know someone's there. Beautiful. So the next point there is, if you're dining out, let's recap. If you're dining out, if you're cooking, or if you're eating foods that are processed or packaged, they will contain a lot of oil, sugar, and salt. And these can help retain a lot of water and fat, which is something that we don't want. So, yeah, they can be helpful, but not for us. My next point on the branch of nutrition is that you might not be eating enough. Now, this might come as a surprise. Hi, Brooke. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for saying hello. So sometimes I don't know if anyone's there. So thanks, Brooke. I appreciate your support. Um, so it might come as a surprise, but you might not be eating enough. If you don't eat enough calories and you've gone from maybe a high calorie diet um, straight down to a low calorie, you're probably feeling really hungry. There's a possibility that you might be binging on the weekends, but you still might not be eating enough day to day. Now, this is going to really shock your system. Your body's going to want to hold on to anything it can. So, this is why fasting is a little bit hit or miss sometimes. The science is for, the science is also against. So, it really depends on what works for you. But if you're not eating enough throughout the day, it is likely that you will end up binging in the evening and over consuming. It is so easily done, folks. I mean, I've done it so many times before. My clients have done it so many times before. It is difficult to get out of the pattern, but it is certainly not impossible. And that's something that I work through with my clients as well. So if you're not eating enough throughout the day, you might eat too much in the evening. Your body is then stressed. It can't digest everything. And then you might end up eating too much for your body to be able to cope in the evenings. So be careful with not eating enough. Why is my laptop pinging at me? Let's put that on mute, shall we? Beautiful. So the third kind of final point on the nutrition branch is that you might be allergic to something, or you might have an intolerance. I was speaking to a lovely lady the other day, and she has a lot of inflammation and a lot of bloating. Now, this can seem like you're either plateauing in your weight loss or you're just not losing weight at all, when in actual fact, there's a lot going on in your gut, and your gut can't keep up. If you've gone from a standard meat, veg, or meat and rice kind of diet, and you've gone and swapped it, you've turned the head, fantastic. But if you're now incorporating a lot of beans and legumes, these have a lot of enzymes that your gut, your microbiome is not used to. So it needs time to adapt. And if it doesn't adapt, and you might have something like IBS, for example, an intolerance or an allergy to those things, it's not going to help. And you're going to be put on weight due to inflammation. Okay, so it might look like you're not losing weight when actually your body's just fighting really hard. You might experience a lot of bloating, a lot of soreness, a lot of tension. You might notice a lot of extra gas and discomfort in your belly. Again, intolerances and allergies definitely go in slowly, especially if you're not too sure if you have a touchy stomach as well. It might not work straight away for you. That's why I would recommend working alongside someone to incorporate these things slowly but surely. So that's kind of the nutrition element of it. And the biggest and most commonly unidentified reason is this: your mindset. Before you log off and go, oh God, I don't want to hear about mindset again, I just want to pre-frame you here. Before health coaching, before I studied, well, when I studied this, even when I was studying this, I thought, this is rubbish. How can your mindset actually make a difference? But you might notice that I bang on about it a lot now because my clients have experienced a mindset shift, and that's helped them get out of their own way and create the success that they want. So listen up. I didn't believe in this, and I thought it was a load of rubbish. So if you're one that's going, no, I just need, pen and paper. Thanks, Bianca. I've written down the nutrition points. I'll work on that. But I don't want to work on the mindset because I think it's rubbish. I thought it was rubbish, but now I see results. So just listen and try. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be difficult. It might cause tears. But I tell you what, it's one bloody powerful tool. And if you're able to tap in and change your mindset, you're able to change your identity, the person that you are, and change into the person that you want to be. You might think this is all woo-woo and tosh, but I promise you it is the most commonly unidentified reason as to why people aren't losing weight on a plant-based lifestyle. So let's get into it. Your mindset, your nutrition, done. Your mindset. Talk about mindset now. You've stopped moving in the hope that you will fix your weight or health concerns. So this is just a quick point that I wanted to make. Just because you're eating super healthy doesn't mean you can be a couch potato. Now, I'm sorry if this comes as a bit of a bore, but you still need to get movement in. You've got a lot of excess energy coming in, a lot of extra nutrients, a lot of extra nutrition. Where are you going to put that bountiful abundance of energy? You still need to move. You still need to move your body. Your body craves movement. We are not meant to stagnate. We are meant to move. So move in a way that you enjoy. Dance your ass off. Go for a run. Take the dog for a walk. Go to the gym. Join a class. Try some yoga. Try some aerial silks if you're me, just randomly trying aerial silks. Do what you can to move your body because you have got so much more energy from being on a plant-based diet. If you don't utilize that energy, eventually it will be stored as fat. So you could be eating the healthiest meal on the planet, but if you're not tuned into the right mindset and your parasympathetic nervous system isn't switched on, I've talked about that in the last video, or you're not repurposing that extra energy, it is going to store in your body, and that's what looks like fat. So that's a mindset shift. Okay, yes, you've changed your diet, but you still do need to move. Sorry. Now, another part of that mindset change there. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. Emily, I see you're here. I see you're watching. Say hello if you're watching, guys, so I know that you're there. I shouldn't say guys. You're all beautiful women. You're all powerful, gorgeous, and empowered female women who are taking on the world, taking on their health. But guys is just a familiar term for me. I apologize. So the next part there is you're not being entirely honest with yourself. And this kind of ties into what I just mentioned. Are you binging on the weekends? Are you not 100%? Are you giving it 80%? Hi, Tanya. Thank you for joining. Are you not giving it 100%? Are you being really honest with yourself? Hey, Emily. And if you're not being entirely honest with yourself, it could just mean a couple of pounds here, a couple of pounds there, and it could mean getting past that plateau. It could mean having a rocket up your butt to shoot you past that plateau and get you back on track again. So just take a moment and say, am I truthfully honest with myself? Am I following this as best as I can? Another path down this venture here is that you might be stressed. As I talked about last time, stress is very, very important to manage for weight loss. You could be on the most perfect diet, but if you're stressed, you could be eating the healthiest salad on earth, but you're stressed. Like I said last time, the stress response, if that is on in your body, then what is off? The rest and digest. So if you're stressed, you can't digest. If you're relaxed, you can digest because that's the parasympathetic nervous system that's switched on. It's activated. It's ready. It's ready to digest, not run away because you're stressed. So stress can really influence the ability to absorb nutrients and to utilize the food that you are consuming, which is beautiful and abundant as well. Now, I have literally saved the biggest and best till last. So I'm so glad that I've got the biggest audience right now. Hi, ladies. This is the biggest part. And again, like I said, the most commonly unidentified reason as to why people aren't losing weight. Okay. And I'm going to give you some clear points on how to break it down. Your identity is holding on to your past. What do I mean by this? You are getting in your own way. You haven't decided to shift who you believe that you are yet. Yes, you see something. Yes, you want something. I want to weigh X kilos or pounds. I want to fit into a size X again. I want to be able to fit into those trousers or that dress that I had last summer. You might decide that you want that, but you might not have decided that it's time to make that shift. As soon as you realize that you are believing that you are still this person, you are still someone who is overweight, you are still someone who is not plant-based or whole foods plant-based. I am still just losing weight. I'm still a smoker, but I'm trying to give up. You're clinging on to an identity which you have created, and perfectly and rightly so, but the actions and behaviors that you take are still in alignment with her. As soon as you recognize that this is the biggest thing that's getting in your way, you are going to be launched forward, because after that becomes the decision to let go of her. The decision to say, that is no longer serving me. I do not identify with her anymore. I am now her. I am now the person I want to be. That is me now. I am a plant-based, beautiful woman. I am confident in my skin. I am confident in my body. I know that I have the perfect body to where I need to be, to where I am, and to where I want to be. I have that. It's the same as saying, I smoke occasionally, versus someone who says, I'm not a smoker. Which one holds more energy, more potential energy? Possibly the one that says, I'm not a smoker. No, thank you. Thanks for the offer, but I'm not a smoker. That person there who said, I try not to smoke, they're still hanging on to it. Whereas that person's gone, nope. And in your mind, your brain associates that with your new identity. So then you start making that shift. And that shift, that decision, those decisions in those split moments, I'm going to reach for this food, I'm going to reach for that food, I'm going to reach for a cigarette, I'm going to reach for a beer or a glass of wine, whatever your weakness is at the time. It's going to be difficult and sticky at first because you're rewiring the way your brain works. You've probably heard of the neuro pathways that we have connected. That is the identity to which you used to belong to. Now you're rewiring, because I'm saying I'm not a smoker. I am a plant-based person. I am a whole foods plant-based woman. I am slim. I am beautiful. I am empowered. I am sexy. And I am doing every fucking thing I can to be the person I want to be. Excuse my French if you're not used to me yet. Suddenly that rewiring in your brain is going to be difficult at first because you're creating a new path. Have you ever gone through the forest and you want to get over there, but there's loads of bushways in the way? So you're going to try and move everything out the way. Hi, Dee. So you're trying to move everything out the way to create a path for yourself. Well, that's exactly what your brain is doing, because it's going, oh crap, I'm not that person anymore. I am her. I am that beautiful, amazing person that I want to be. Let's create a pathway. So it's very difficult at first. But the more you tread that path, the more you tell yourself that you are that person, the more you believe it, the more you become it, the more you act it, the more you create an environment around you to become that person that you want to be. It's so incredible. Like I said, when I did my health coaching, when I was learning all of this, I thought this was utter bullshit. I was like, there's no way you can tell yourself to be slim and be slim. But I've seen it with my clients. I've done it with myself. Guys, I'm almost in tears because I did it with myself last week. I decided I wasn't worthy of being a health coach. I decided that I wasn't worthy of being able to make a living off of something that I was so passionate about, because I kept on telling myself that. And I noticed that in myself. We have these connections that we've created in our own brains for our own reasons, but we now need to start changing that. Work with it and start changing it. I know you can do it. So what is the easiest way to rewire? Recognize. First step, recognize. Recognize that this is your problem. You are getting in the way, and you still keep saying, yeah, sometimes I'm whole foods plant-based. But what if you say, what if you're one of these ones that are saying, yeah, but Bianca, I want to be whole foods plant-based, but I want to take it in my own time. That's absolutely fine. But tell yourself out loud that you are not weak, that you are strong. Keep it in positive. I am strong. I make decisions that are right for me. I make healthy decisions. That is you creating the identity of the person that you want to be. And that is you making those action points along the way. So recognize that this is an issue. You are getting in your own way, and that's okay because we all do it. Number 2, make a decision to let go of what she was. I don't know if any of you have been on TikTok or Instagram recently, but there's like a little meme that's going around. I have no idea what, I think it was called Rain or something. And they say, and the one woman says, I miss the girl you were. And then the other one says, something like, oh, what is it? Please help me out. I miss the girl you were. And then the woman says, she was easier to kill. Something like that. Think of it like that, okay? I'm going to let that go. It is no longer serving me. I'm going to be this amazing person that I desire and deserve to be. So make the decision to let go. And then step number 3 is decide to make the change. Create that identity. Create that person that you desire and deserve to be. Okay? Recognize, let go, make the change. Shift into that beautiful, empowered person who is taking action every day, who is believing in herself, who is trying, because you are her. And I truly and utterly and completely believe that you can do it, because I was there last week and I have changed my mindset and I am believing into the person that I want to be, and the results are showing. I promise you. Oh, that was heavy. That was heavy, but I'm very passionate, very emotional, and it is certainly something that is so. People don't realize that they are getting in their own way, and it's not your fault that you don't realize it. It's because you haven't had someone to say, "Babe, get out of your own way." So I'm doing that now, right? I'm coming at you right now. You can get out of your own way. It's okay. And if that takes a while, if it takes time, if it's emotional, if it's hard, if it hurts, that's totally fine. Ride the emotions, ride that wave, and you'll get there. You'll freaking get there, because you're empowered, because you're beautiful, because you're strong, and because you have me. If any of this doesn't make sense, if any of this needs elaborating, please, please, please pop in the comments or send me a DM. I'll be more than happy to help you. If you think that you're getting in your own way, pop me a message, either below or DM me. Either way, I'll read it. If you comment below, then just tag me. And I invite you to open up to me. I invite you to have a chat with me, and we can work out what's getting in your way. Is it the nutrition element, or is it you? We can work it out. But don't worry, we have answers. You have the answers. I'll just help them squeeze them out of you. All right, my beautiful, beautiful women. Thank you so much for joining me. I very much appreciate it. I hope this has helped. I hope I've given you some tangible steps to walk away with. Grab that notepad and pen, rewatch this, tell me you're rewatching it, and write it all down, get it up on your wall, and start taking action today. Let me know that you're taking action. Sending you lots of love. I'll see you next week. And again, if you have anything that you want me to cover, pop it below. Speak to you soon. Bye.